Your manufacturing units maintain a meticulous record of their production activities in batch records. Surprisingly, even in this digital world, a large proportion of batch records are still paper based. And even those that are electronic, they are mainly paper on glass systems where most of the data remains locked in the document format. The data in your batch records is critical for quality assurance, troubleshooting, improving your quality and yield, and checking SOP adherence. But since it is locked in documents, using batch records inevitably calls for manual data review, extraction, and analysis. Given how information dense and large batch records can be, this is an extremely tedious and time consuming task. Today, I'm going to show you how our software solution Augment automatically extracts structured information from batch records so that you can conduct your batch review analysis in minutes rather than hours or days. For the purpose of this demo, we will use three fictitious but typical batch records from a pharmaceutical company called MedPharma tablets. The batch record captures a standard pharmaceutical operation of converting powders to granules and then to tablets in a manufacturing facility. The documents contain a record of all steps, instructions, and observations as recorded by the operators, as well as information on materials and equipment used. We will use the Excel add-in version of Augment for the demo. The add-in allows you to upload batch records straight in Excel and receive back the results in Excel worksheets so that you can complete the extraction and analysis in minutes rather than days. If you want to learn more about Augment or the Excel add-in, I recommend you to look up the dedicated videos on augment.app on the same. I have the Excel add-in already installed, as you can see here in the right pane in Excel. And I already am in the right project for batch record extraction. All you now need to do is upload the batch record PDF into the add-in, and the add-in will automatically extract all the data into fields and populate back in these Excel worksheets. So that's what I'm going to do now. Within a minute or so, as you can see, the extraction is complete. And the data from the single batch record that we uploaded is now populated in these worksheets. To explain what is extracted, let us go through some of the data in the worksheets. The extraction has been configured around stages, operations, and actions backbone. And what you see here is, for instance, the action sheet. In the action sheet, what you see is all the very, very granular activities that have been recorded in the batch sheet. That's the lowest level of activities recorded. Operations are one level higher. You can think about them as unit operations in the process, as can be noted here: mixing, tableting, film coating, etc. And stages is even one level higher, where most of the process appears as one row, and some other things such as clearance, sampling, etc., is also included. This is the structure we have decided as the most optimal for extracting information from these batches. But of course, you could change this structure to the one that suits you. We also have extracted at the action level what are the various materials and equipment used, should any equipment or materials be used in that action. So for instance, here you see a list of the equipment, including the codes that have been used. And here you see the raw materials that have been used, including the quantities of the raw materials. Next to the equipment and materials list per action, you also have all the measurements captured in every single action, which is what you see here in this worksheet called Actions Parameters. You see here what has been measured in column A. In column C, you can see the actual value that's been recorded. Column D has the unit. Column E is an inequality qualifier if that's what is relevant for the action. And then you have the minimum and maximum set point values, which are present in the batch record. You also have directly readout on whether the actual value of the process parameter was in the specified range straight away here. So if you're doing something like a QA review, you can very quickly look for true and false in this column and very quickly find out whether the batch has been compliant or not. Besides the equipment, materials, and process parameter information, we also have a list of all the verifications that have been conducted by the operators in this batch sheet. As you can see here, this is the list of all the checks that have been done. and whether the check was done or not is available in column C. Of course, the value of such extraction goes beyond extracting a single batch record. You can actually extract multiple batch records in this add-in and then very quickly do an analysis on multiple batch records. That's exactly what we are going to do now by uploading a couple of more batch records. The extraction of three batches is complete, as you can see here, three different rows with three different batch numbers. To illustrate the power of analysis across batches, let's look at these parameter values across the three batches. Since parameters worksheet in column N, you will see that there are three different batches from which data has been extracted. And if you look into the values in column C, you will be able to compare process settings across the three different batches. For example, let us quickly compare the relative humidity across the three batches. All you need to do is just filter it out. On filtering relative humidity, you can see that the value of relative humidity across the three batches is different. In the first batch, it is well below the required set point of 65% relative humidity. For the other two batches, although it was still within the requirement of below 65, they are much more closer to the edge. So, for instance, if you can check here if this relative humidity variation has had any influence on your tablet quality or yield. With such data at your fingertips, you can do many quick troubleshooting analysis that usually would have taken hours, if not days, to complete. Another advantage of converting batch records into structured data is that such structured data remains available for later analysis in combination with new batches. Finally, you can think about extracting data from your entire historical batch record corpus to generate some unique insights so that you can improve your yield and quality. If reviewing and analyzing batch records is an everyday struggle for you, contact us for a solution.